Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to wax a snowboard. Today I'm going to be using some -10 and down wax just for the cold season. Yeah, so grab an iron. Make sure it's not your mom's clothes iron. You want to have an old iron that you don't care about. First step, all you got to do is melt the wax on. Make sure you get it on there nice and thick. You want a huge amount of wax on. Just be generous with it. All along the board, usually about 5 lines. Don't really have to get the tip and tail, but pretty much all the snowboard you just want to soak in wax. Now you don't want to have your iron too hot once it's sitting on the board when you're melting all the wax in. If it's too hot, it's just going to damage your base, and you're going to have a nice bill to fix that. Sometimes it can even wreck your board entirely. So I just got mine turned up to about 3 or 4. Alright, the heat in, so you just got to be patient. Just like this, melt all the wax onto the board. So colder wax is generally also harder to scrape off than a soft wax. That's for warmer conditions. So you pretty much got to be patient the whole time that you're using this wax. But it's really going to pay off when you're hitting colder weather. Okay, so you can probably just turn your iron off once you reach this point so you don't touch it and burn yourself. Now you just want to grab a scraper. They're pretty cheap, about $5. And typically you start from about your back binding or your front binding, doesn't matter which way your board is. Scrape back. Once you have all that cleaned off, then you scrape the other way. So you just want to put a lot of pressure in the middle of your scraper, and you're going to be pushing bending your scraper so it touches down in the middle. You want to scrape almost all the wax off so that there's just a thin layer left. Any big spots that you leave on the board are going to affect how well it slides. Especially if you're using colder wax, this way is a lot easier than trying to run your scraper all the way down your board, and gives you the same results. Alright, so that's cleared off. Now I'm going to go the other way. Alright. So once you've done that, just kind of run your scraper down and get anything that you missed. And just make it nice and even so there's no marks from where you've been scraping. All the way along. Alright. So now the best thing to do, if you're going to buff your snowboard, the best way to do that is take a cloth So if you're going to buff your snowboard, the best way to do that, you just take a cloth, anything that's fabric, and you're just going to run it along the length of the... So now the best thing to do, if you're going to buff your snowboard, the best way to do that is take a cloth So if you're going to buff your snowboard, the best way to do that, you just take a cloth, anything that's fabric, and you're just going to run it along the length of the board, just in straight lines. There's a lot of people that go in circles. This actually doesn't help you at all. If you run it in straight lines, when your board is moving along the snow, it's going to melt the water, and the easiest way for it is to follow the groove. So it just wants to follow the wax back. And if you put lines all the way along it, that water is just going to shoot straight out the back instead of getting caught in those circles. So you just want to run it straight down the board. Doesn't matter which way you go, but you just want to have a lot of straight lines in your wax. And that is pretty much it. Once you're done that,